beneficial people, how are you? So today we will be talking about that very first step you need to take if you want that financial freedom. I know everybody wants to be debt free, people want financial freedom, but where do we start from? How do we begin? In this video, I'll be showing you the very first step, the fundamental of you becoming financial freedom. So when people are in debt, they have the struggle with financial issues. One of the things they don't want to do is they don't want to see what their credit score is. They don't want to see how much they are owing. They don't want to see, even when they are owing people, they don't want to know the amount, because they just feel like all this is just gonna make their situation worse, so they don't even want to look at it. But I'm here to tell you that is not the best decision. I wanted to break that barrier of you not knowing what your financial situation is to a place where you actually know your financial situation. So the first step to financial freedom is for you to take an inventory of all your finances. So the first thing we want to know is how much you are owing. Your credit cards, okay? Call the banks, call the credit card company, ask them, how much is my balance? And after that, call, if you have store credit cards, call them. Call each of them. Let them know how much you own on each of them. So now that you have the list of the credit cards, the banks, your friends and families, all the people that you are owing, now you know that you have all those ready. So the next thing I want you to do, when you have all this in place, I want you to go ahead and list them. So the number one being the highest debt that you have. Let's say the student loan is your highest debt, so put that one at the number one. My student loan, maybe that is 40,000. You put it there. Personal loan, 5,000. That is number two. Credit card, 3,000. Number three. Macy's card, maybe that is 400. That will be number four. Walmart, maybe 250, number five. And maybe you own Jones, I want you to put it there, maybe number six. List all those things and put the balance. What is the total amount of money you are owing people? It sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do that, because you knowing that you'll be owing those people for long, you knowing that you have this credit card debt for long, and it's just a little bit hard for you to go through. But at the end of the day, you knowing how much you are owing will give you that relief. That is just number one. Number two, I want you to list all your expenses, okay? So most of the expenses that we incurred will be, number one will be rent. So if you live your parent and you don't have to pay rent, that is good. But if you live by yourself, then you definitely have to pay rent, or your mortgage. So put your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, water, electricity, if you use cable, your internet, and all those things that you use, those are your fixed expenses. List them also. Here we are going to do something different. We will go back to the debts that you have. So let's say you have a student loan. The student loan that we listed in the first step, which is the total balance of the student loan, that was 40,000. At this time, we're going to list how much you are owing or you are paying on that student loan. So let's say every month you pay $100. So you're gonna list that $100. It's part of your fixed expenses that you make every month. So you list all your expenses, your rent, your loan amounts that you pay, your credit cards that you pay, the amount of credit card that you pay. You're gonna list them. You're gonna list all your utilities. You're gonna list all any other expenses. If you use Netflix, you're gonna list them. Once you finish listing them, then you know how much you pay on monthly basis. Now some people will say, oh, it's just difficult for me to do. So go back to your bank account, open your bank account, look at your transactions. So the first month might not give you everything, but if you look at the first, second, and the third month, look at those 3 months behind and see what are the expenses that you make. let me say this. If I ask you how much you spend on food or grocery every month and you cannot tell me, then you are not on your way to financial freedom. You need to know at least how much you spend on your grocery, how much you spend on food. Grocery is part of the food because sometimes we still buy food outside. So make a list of all the on grocery. I spend $400 on grocery. Okay. And every month I spend, let's say, $200 on food, other expenses like maybe buying coffee from Starbucks, ordering food outside and other stuff will take $200. So when you add that $200 to your $400, that is $600 that you spend on your grocery. You might not know the exact amount that you spend on your grocery, but I want you to have a range to know that at the end of every month I spend $400, $500, $600 on grocery. And once you know all this, if you don't drive and you use Uber, this is a good time for you to go back to your bank statement on your phone or wherever it is. Look at all the expenses you make on Uber. Okay, look at them from the beginning of the month. Take it January 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Just make sure that you put all those months together and see how much expenses you make on Uber. Okay, and that is your transportation. If you have a car, how much it costs you on transportation, your car payment, your gas, oil change. I know oil change is not every month, but just let's factor all those things inside. So at the end of the day, the first step, what we did was we listed all the money we are owing and all the people we are owing. The next step is to list all our expenses for the month. And then the final step is, obviously, you will know. I'll be mentioning about your income. Okay, how much do you make? If you are on salary like me, you know how much you make at the end of every month. Okay, if you are an hourly employee, you know that at the end of the week or at the end of the month, this is how much they're going to pay you. So just take an average of it. So now that we have our expenses, our owings, and our income, the next step, or in my next video, I'll be showing you how you can then budget. So by so doing, at the end of the month, you'll be focusing on how you are going to pay your debt. But let's look at it. You cannot become financial freedom if you don't know how much you're owing people, if you don't know how much you are earning, and if you don't know how much your expenses are. This is the number one step of you becoming financial freedom. It is the number one step of you getting out of debt. So if you are ready to get out of debt, it doesn't matter how much you are making. It doesn't matter how much you owe. At the end of the day, number one step is for you to know, to have that control over your finances. Don't let your finance have control over you. Once you know how much you are owing, how much you make, then you can take the next step by budgeting, and you have a plan on how you'll be able to pay your debt. So if you watch after this time, I want you to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know how your finances are going. Let me know what is your journey. Let me know your plans that you put in place to get out of debt. And if you are already out of debt, congratulations. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.